guys, today we're going to be back playing some Empire Total War. It has been a super long time since we played this game, but we are back with a 2v2, and this is going to be an extremely close matchup. So today we're going to be playing as the Americans. I'm going to be controlling the left flank, and then Warfighter, my ally, is going to be controlling the right with France. So starting off, the rules for this game were 2 light infantry max, and then max 3 cavalry. So starting off the engagement with a skirmish, we have our long riflemen up against some other Russian riflemen, and then we also have the Morgans. These are probably one of the best light units in the game, and look at them chewing down those Russian troops. Already down to 52 men, but he does have more troops coming in. Now, like I said, this is going to be a very close matchup, and to make matters even worse for us, we're going to be fighting an uphill battle. So I have my light infantry, or my cavalry here. These guys are capable of shooting on horseback, which is really going to be effective for getting those shots off quick and being nimble on the battlefield. So I'm trying to bait my opponent to push up here. And over on our far right flank, we have the 1st Maryland, 1st Delaware, and one of my favorite units, the 2nd New York. So they're going to be holding this middle center ground. Now facing us, like I said, we have the Russians, and then we also have a bit of an American Civil War going on with the other American force pushing in. But here we go, 1st Delaware ripping into some elite guard units. And so far, they seem to be winning this engagement. Now, they are going to be, or these units are maxed in terms of capacity, so we're playing on ultra settings. But here we go, Russia pushing in with these light dragoons, and these guys are so deadly. Shooting from horseback. This is going to hurt just a little bit. Oh my goodness, already bringing those guys to 125 men. We have Warfighter here pushing up his goons as well, and they're going to be engaging very close quarters here, shooting on horseback, and these guys are just getting annihilated. Already down to wavering there, and they will break soon after. But a lot of carnage happening in the center. I now have my goons pushed up, trying to engage as well. Now, taking a quick look on the right flank here, it looks like the French line infantry are going to be faced up against the Minutemen. These guys are a pretty good force. They all shoot at once, which is super efficient. However, they do lack the morale. So they are, like I said, Minutemen. They aren't true infantrymen, but they do have some pretty massive balls, as you can tell, getting very close to enemy forces. And over on the far right flank, it looks like these skirmishers got a little bit caught off guard there, getting in range of the line infantry and taking some losses. So down to 42 men just like that. But taking a look at our center, we are not doing good at all. My 1st Maryland's just about broken. They're holding strong with 86 guys. More Minutemen are pushing up to engage, and these goons are just continuing to devastate my line. So soon enough, I'm going to be seeing kind of the carnage unfold. I'm actually going to be forcing my guys back into a tactical withdrawal here. I'm not seeing too much potential in this center of the map. Over on the left flank, we are continuing the skirmish engagement, but like I said, they do have the high ground, so it's going to be a little bit more efficient for them to get shots off a little bit more accurately. Now, we are shooting those foot units, or these elite guard units, and I want these guys off the battlefield. They do boost morale for other units, so the sooner I can get them gone, the better the chances are we will win that. Now, in the center, you can see the full potential of the Minutemen. They are just annihilating French units. The militia here trying their best to shoot back. And Warfighter, he's not having any of that. So he's going to be falling back as well. He's going to be pushing up his cavalry in the rear to try and support as they do withdraw. Over on the far right flank, things are not looking good as well. This elite French unit is just getting wiped. Down to 75 men and just now engaging. And also over here on the far right flank, more elite units just getting taken out by Minutemen. It's pretty embarrassing that the Minutemen are overwhelming these guys. But I guess when you have enough men and firepower, you can do stuff like that. So back over on the left flank, I have given up some ground here, and this is where some separation happens between me and my ally here. It looks like some of his units aren't facing the right way, classic Frenchies. So 1st Maryland's going to be leading the way here, getting their reloads and trying to flank these Minutemen. But as you can tell, continuing to fall back. Over on the right flank, we are pretty isolated as well. Down to only 86 men now, 77 and dropping. These guys aren't going to be lasting too much longer. And they're really not doing too much in terms of kills. This far right unit's doing a pretty good job here taking these guys down. But the French morale is trying to stay strong for as best as possible, or as long as possible. And we do have a goon unit kind of stuck behind enemy lines here. Or excuse me, we have some melee cavalry charging in. They're going to be charging into this light unit, which is going to really help us out in the long run. Getting rid of those lights really helps with the skirmish engagement. But over here, I'm continuing to push on the Russians here. I need to be aggressive as possible. Now, one thing about the Marine unit is that they shoot based on platoon fire. So about maybe 5 or 6 guys at a time will end up engaging. So I need to make sure these guys are in combat constantly. Otherwise, they will just lose unnecessary losses. So pushing them up quickly. I'm not too sure why the Cossack infantry formed square here. No true threat of a cav charge, but it does look pretty damn cool. Over on the right flank, we are getting flanked as well. U.S. Marines trying their best to divvy out some volleys on the light dragoons, and it actually is going to be forcing them into a withdrawal. But over here, France is having a very tough time trying to use some of the woods for cover. Not fully in it, but we only have militia holding this front line here, and they are not going to last long at all. Light infantry falling back once again on the right flank, and still enemy forces maintaining that high ground. Militia just continuing to give it to the French army, and Warfighter is not looking good at this point. Pretty much in a full retreat. He is completely cut off from reinforcements on my side, and at this point in time, I'm starting to realize, hey, I need to take out Russia as quickly as possible so I can turn my back and face the Americans. So in the meantime, I'm going to be pushing up some goons here to cover my rear as my main lines continue to engage Russia. We have another goon unit pushing in as well. I do see that. I'm going to try and get some volleys off on them. And we'll see what happens. Looks like that unit actually shot the militia unit. Not ideal here, but I'm going to fall back a bit here, and I'm going to continue to make my push up this hill. Now, Russian forces have deployed stakes, so I do need to be considerate of that. They do block volleys, which is very important, and also for obvious reasons, they do prevent cav charges. I do need to be conscious of that. I do have more Marines pushing up this hillside. Actually, they're going to be falling back a bit, but you can see kind of the devastation these guys are doing if they do maintain that engagement. And right now I am going pedal to the metal over here on this right flank, trying to get my guys up this hill as quickly as possible. And there we go, beautiful volley from the goons, dropping them down to 40 guys. And these guys are pretty upgraded with 3 chevrons. We will see if we can break them. It looks like they are going to be able to fall back though, with some decently healthy numbers. And I'm going to try and not let that happen. So I'm going to be committing a melee charge here to hopefully break these guys. France on the far right side, once again, like I said, having a very tough time holding their ground. Just lacking the manpower. Once again, militia kind of holding the center here. It's surprising to see these are one of the last units alive despite their poor morale. Down to 55 guys now. And then on the right flank, we do have another elite unit trying to hold the flank, but that isn't going well either. Drummer Boy, pretty much the only guy left, officer and flag bearer. Oh, there he goes. Just a matter of time. So 24 guys, they are just about broken. We have a cavalry charge here from the Americans into the French, and that's going to break that unit as well. We do have a tertiary defense, or once again, another position to fall back to. They're going to be shooting these guys point blank. Oh my goodness. These French lights are not having a good day, and just like that, that unit is completely gone. So with about 3 units left, France is not going to be much more. Over here, I do need to start committing more of my guys. I do have my light infantry engaging their line. However, my U.S. Marines are not faring too well. They are getting flanked. And also, I need to be considerate of these light dragoons over on the far right side. They are waiting for my advance. And I'm actually going to be readjusting my line here a bit to counter this flanking maneuver. And I'm actually going to be pushing up 2 more Marine units to try and flank this line infantry. Now, the beauty of skirmishers is that they can shoot from a pretty long distance without taking any casualties. And I'm going to use that to their full potential there. So just going to keep those guys there and engage. Over on the right flank, I do have a couple units to keep some American units preoccupied and also kind of prevent their advance on my guys. Now, once again, France is in the thick of it, facing more Minutemen. Warfighter is not having a great day. He's not a huge fan of Minutemen, especially the massive spam. But as you can tell, the American player doing an awesome job, and it's actually forcing the French general into melee combat. I think he himself is pretty pissed at the light dragoons, so he's going to be having actually getting a kill there. We'll see if he can get another kill. I do not remember if he died or not. All alone and isolated, his bodyguards are leaving him out to dry. Can he make it back to the front line? You gotta admire that wig, though. What a beautiful wig. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't mind me. Just pass it through. Uh-oh. Can he make it out? Can he make it out? I think he is. I don't want to speak too soon, but man, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. What type of bodyguards are those, man? Who leaves their general out to dry like this? He's running. Is he a traitor? Did he change sides? Alright, buddy. What are you doing, man? There you go. Let's see if we can get a kill here. He's already got one kill. Get him. Get him. Mess him up, man. I'm sorry, guys. There's so much content going on, but I can't pass this moment up. I don't know what happened. Oh my gosh. Their line just went flying. Alright, well anyways, this general's lost his mind. He's going back to his unit. But over here on this right flank, we have committed to an assault here. Pushing up as quickly as I can, taking advantage of these stakes for some cover here. We're going to have a nice flank with these US Marines on some foot guards here on the right. On the left flank, I'm also going to be pushing up more units. We did manage to break that line infantry unit. I'm going to be flanking around on his left. So Russia's in some trouble right now. They're still a formidable force, especially with having the high ground. But as you can tell, those light dragoons really coming in handy, getting those volleys off pretty close to enemy lines there, dropping a couple. But as you can tell to my rear, the battle is pretty much lost. Over on the far right flank. The general's bodyguard, I think, is going in for another charge. Did the general make it out? I'm not seeing the general. Where's the general? There he is. He finally caught up with the rest of the guys. Let's check out this engagement here. So 22 up against 27. A pretty even matchup. And here comes more Minutemen into the fray. And the French general trying his best to hold back these light dragoons. But these guys are ready. They don't have bayonets, but they will definitely whack you with the butt of their guns. Uh-oh. Surrounded once again. You know, this French general doesn't want to die. He's a pretty good fighter, man. Completely surrounded. Oh, no. And there he goes. The French general is dead. And with that, the rest of his army. So taking a look at the map now, we have an enormous amount of enemy forces coming into my rear. Jeez, okay, that came out really weird. Attacking me from the rear. There's no easy way or good way to rephrase that. So I'm trying to hold off as best I can with just one unit to keep them at bay for a little bit longer as I continue to take out this Russian force. And it is critical right now that I beat back these Russians. So I'm going to get these guys engaged, get these Marines firing. Let's take a look at some of that platoon firing. Going down the ranks. Oh, looks like they are once again out of range. Over here on this side, though, we are at the edge of the map, so they're going to be forced kind of into my corner here. These Marines are having a field day right now. They're loving this action, getting a ton of kills. We're kind of forcing Russia to face a two-front war here. Definitely not ideal. But Americans coming quickly behind. I need to be cautious of that. And here we go. Light Dragoons getting formed up, getting some pretty good shots off on the foot guards here. Do like their top hats. Pretty creative, man. So Marines once again getting pushed up, but I am going to be faced with a lot of elite units as well, so I need to be cautious of that. I need to use my goons as effectively as possible. But this is what I'm saying. Light Dragoons able to shoot over the heads of line infantry. It's really, really effective, like I said, with maximizing firepower. So I am tired of these guys shooting my men. I'm actually going to be charging into the Russians. Now, one key tactic here is once you charge into a unit, keep charging down. Prevent those guys from shooting. So with that charge, my hopes is to break, or at least try and stop firing, or the enemy firing on my men. And with that, it actually stopped both of those units there. And once again, forcing these guys into a retreat. So taking a lot of losses. That was a really successful charge. I'm going to be reforming my men. So it looks like the U.S. Marines are still engaging some more men. It looks like the riflemen are in over their heads right now. They're actually going to be breaking and shattered from the map, or from the game. So with about 4 units left and Americans coming from behind, I do have the first mail in to try and hold these guys at bay. Can I get the... Oh, only a couple of the guys shot. The rest of them are going to be reloading and actually I think entering melee combat. So 32 up against 128. We will see if skill... Nope. Skill's not going to do it. Not enough. But on a positive note, we do hold the high ground. So for the first time this game, we are actually going to be controlling the terrain here. So, like I said, trying to quickly take out these Russians. 3 units left. I want them gone. It looks like they're actually going to be trying to make an escape for it, passing by my Marines, and I'm going to have none of that. I'm actually going to be chasing these guys down with my light dragoons. Once again, forming more guys up. So I split my force once again into 2 different segments. We have 1 unit here consisting of Marines and light infantry. So from the hillsides, these guys are going to have full advantage of that distance. They're going to be mowing down those Minutemen. Now over on the far left side, the Americans have finally made their way to the front line. We have a ton of Minutemen, and as you can tell, a lot of them are pretty heavily upgraded. We even have the general here admiring the battle. So I see that, and I have some goons here ready to counter. I do need to be cautious, though. I don't want them to engage by themselves, otherwise they're going to be taking kind of unneeded casualties here. But here we go. The final Russian unit running for their lives. And yeah, time is of the essence right now. So I have managed to kind of turn this into a one-way war, or one front here. And there we go, another really good volley there from those light dragoons, bringing these guys down to 48 men. Really surprised they haven't broken yet. I guess because they've seen the Americans arrive as reinforcements. But here we go, U.S. Marines now getting ready. And these Minutemen are also going to be reforming as well. These guys are very tired. They do need to rest up. Otherwise, they might risk breaking or having a mass rout. And right now, I am quickly trying to reform my lines. Now, my weakest link right now is over on this right flank. I'm pretty outnumbered. I only have 2 Marine units and a Goon unit covering my right, as opposed to the Americans having 4 Minutemen and a line infantry unit. So, like I said, continuing to try and chase down these Russians. It looks like it's going to be a little bit too late, I think. Oh, maybe not. Here we go. Pushing in once again. We will see if we can get a volley off. Oh, they're caught reloading. Only 1 guy shot. It's pretty embarrassing. Well, yeah, that's not good. I see that. I'm going to be falling back. But reforming, like I said, over on the left flank, waiting for this assault to commence. Now, one thing I do need to keep in mind is making sure my light infantry are out of range of their lines. That is the only advantage they have. They are more accurate, however, the reload time is much slower compared to the Minutemen. So my opponent notices this. He wants to close that gap. These guys are getting drilled in the face. Oh, man. Nothing like an American Civil War during the American Revolution. Oh, man. But as you can tell, I am not doing a good job of that. These guys are well in range now. And I think I'm going to be starting to notice that. And I will fall back, I believe. Over on the right flank, not too much is going on. All the action is pretty much on this left. But as you can tell, I'm pretty outnumbered right now. And there we go with the assault. Minutemen getting pushed up here. Now, one thing to consider with Marines is, like I said, they shoot with platoon fire. And these Minutemen all shoot at once. So what my opponent is trying to do is quickly get his volley off and fall back. Now, one way to counter this is to be as aggressive as possible. So while these guys are caught reloading, I'm going to aggressively push up here and get in range to start fighting back these Minutemen. Now, the beauty of these goons is that they're so agile. I can do pretty much anything I want with these guys. And one thing I'm going to do is hopefully use my agile or my ability to run through enemy lines and hopefully cause a mass rout. I know these guys don't have high morale, especially with them exhausted. And I'm just going to be charging in, hoping for the best. And so far, it's going all right. They do need infantry support, so as a result, I'm going to be charging in my Marines. These guys can kick some serious ass in melee combat. We even have the American general trying to step in and keep his men from breaking. But here we go. More U.S. Marines charging in. And it is a battle of attrition right now. We have Minutemen and my Marines shattering. And I'm continuing to charge into these... What is this? Okay. Guy's getting dragged across the map. Nice. So trying my best to break as many as I can. I do have my riflemen engaging as well. I think they're going to actually be shooting some of my men as they retreat. We don't allow traitors or people that retreat in this army, so these guys are probably better off dead. But look at that. We did manage to kill the American general, and look at this morale. Completely shattering now. And why stop the attack? I'm going to continue to push in and hopefully break as many of these guys as possible. And just like that, 5 units are gone from the battlefield, and maybe even more after this charge. Charging in some more. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My game alt tabbed. So yeah, one of the biggest things that really helped me out this match was just my ability to be aggressive. I needed to take out Russia as fast as possible, and as a result, I was able to get the majority of my forces to turn around and face the Americans. So right now, things are looking good. Like I said, we have 2 rifleman units now engaging Minutemen, and they have the high ground as well. So really ending on a high note, no pun intended. But yeah, these Minutemen are just getting wiped, and yeah, no true point in really falling back now. They're gonna be outranged. So we're gonna fast forward a bit here. Things do start to simmer down. Gonna be, like I said, not taking any chances here, using my light infantry to take as many of these guys out as possible before my main line engages. But even then, I don't really think I need these guys too much. I have a lot of elite units still. I got about 5 or 6 Marine units still alive. We even have a light Dragoon unit just chilling on the hillside as well. So maintaining that distance. These guys are going to be dropping one by one here. I think this is the final assault. So Americans pushing up the hillside here. I don't think the Marines are in range. But look at those lights. Raining down some lead. Down to 75 men now. Look at those silhouettes, man. So my opponent continuing to use this tactic, get those shots off and fall back. Very effective, but when you have light infantry, not so much. So I'm going to press the assault here. Try and end this match. Pretty obvious now who's going to be the victor of this game. And Marines finish the job here. Finish what they've started. Or maybe not. Getting a couple of shots in, but we're going to finish this push. And with 1 unit left, that is GG. So a hell of a match from my ally and opponents. They did a fantastic job. I would consider this map to be, or this match to be a little bit lucky for me, to put it lightly. I think if these guys were not exhausted when they engaged, I think their morale would have been a little bit better when I charged them in melee. But let's go ahead and take a look at these stats here. We have 1 Minuteman unit left, charging in pretty much the entire army now, or what's left of the army. But let's go ahead and fast forward here. 3 chevrons, they're still holding on, man. What a fight. And there they go. So GG. Let's take a look at these. Oh, never mind. Okay, now the game's over. Let's check it out. So 29 or 2,800 kills there. My ally getting 834. Confederate playing as Russia got 958. And then Jim able to get 2,100. Taking a look at what unit got the most kills. Not surprising. Long Rifleman getting 313 kills. So very impressive there, but a very, very fun match. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see some more Total War content. We can definitely do some Empire and Napoleon. Maybe even throw in some Rome Total War. We'll see. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you guys soon.